All right. Jumbo al Hibarada Saburi to both of you. Your responses should be,
Jumbo.
there you go. Whatever way you say it.
Jumbo habanda.
No, is the correct terminology, Chris, is Jumbo al Hibarada Saburi. Okay?
Jumbo halabonde.
Yeah, you'll get it
You'll
eventually.
get it.
You have the beginning phrase correct, but you'll get the rest of it later on. So today I'm joined by my queen, Bria. Say hello.
Hello.
And then of course there's the two princes, Prince Noah. Noah, say hi. Why you looking at mommy like that? Say hi. Oh, now you don't. Now you're not feeling talkative. Now you're not feeling talkative. Well, try to do the other one before. You said you actually said hi. And of course, my son, Prince Christopher. Christopher.
Hi.
Oh, now you want to say hi. Okay. So today, I wanted to talk about accepting your future. First of all, in order to accept your future, you have to know your future. So I want to do a little exercise with the both of you. Okay? Just do this with me for a moment. I want you to sit there for a moment and think. Take some time, think. I'll give you about a minute. The question I want to ask you is, if you had a machine that could make your whole future, uh-oh, what's going on with that? Okay, so like I said, take a minute, and I want you to dwell on this question and then think about your answer. If you had a machine in front of you, a computer that could design your perfect future, what would your future include? So that means think about where you would be at, what type of job you would have, how much money you would have, all those things that make up the perfect future. What would you want your future to look like? All right, I'm going to give you a minute. All right. That was actually less than a minute, but yeah. All right, so Bria, what is your answer? So I'm the person that's operating the machine. Right now, you're telling me, you're standing in front of me, or sitting in front of me, and I'm designing for you your perfect future. Tell me what you believe your perfect future is.
Where do I start?
Can you sit on that thing? Cause
Yeah. Can you do that?
thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Ow. Like ow.
Answer.
Well, I would probably by now be
Not
living.
by now. This is your future. So what I'm saying is, think of your future. It
Well,
could be
by then.
5 days from now, 2 days from now, tomorrow. You know, it's your future. Whatever timeline you think it would take for you to achieve everything that you say you're going to achieve, I want to know what you believe your future would look like. Your perfect future would look like. You might be surprised how different ours really are. I already had my answer. So do you want me to go first? Okay. So you can figure out how to answer correctly. Okay, so my perfect future, because she wants me to go first, so I'll go first. My perfect future is designed like this. I see myself 5 years from now being completely and utterly rich, having a bountiful supply of money. Okay? This is what I believe. In the next 5 years from now, I see myself living in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, in the nice house with a nice big backyard in the country. Okay? Out in the country of Pittsburgh. All right? Nice big backyard, you know, nice sizable front yard. I have the walk path that goes directly to the front of the house. You know, like the ancient colonial houses, and I've been to some, and I can say I love the way they're designed, and I want my house to reflect so. You saw the way that house looked from some of the photos your father and I showed you, and I can tell you this: I want my house looking like that. That's what I'm saying. So, you know, I'm gonna have that. So, my house is going to be a nice, sizable 6 bedroom house with 3 full baths. No, not 3.5, 3 full baths, meaning in the bathrooms there are going to be a his and her sink. There's going to be a guest bathroom that's going to be a his and her sink. There's going to be jacuzzi style tubs inside each bathroom with the attachable shower. For one of the bathrooms will be the attachable shower that a person can walk in, and the guest one, it'll be that one. But in the ensuite, of course, you know, we're going to have the jacuzzi built into the floor, and we'll have the shower that you can step into, literally just step into, that's going to be the glass shower. That's also going to have a TV in the bathroom, so I'll be able to catch up on my shows while I'm washing my behind. You know, just saying. Hey, you know, if I miss an episode of Elementary or something, and I know I gotta go to work, I gotta be the file, put that on my Verizon Fios, because I'm gonna have Verizon. I'm not gonna have, you know, I'm not getting DirecTV, not getting Comcast. I'm always have Verizon.
You know you need to go to work.
Yeah, I'm gonna go, and I'm gonna go to work, but I'm gonna catch up on my show too while I'm in there washing my behind. So, anyway,
Don't even do that.
well, Daddy gonna do it, and that's what
Well,
he's
that's
saying he
ugly.
gonna do in the future. So, hold on,
That's ugly.
hold on. So,
That's ugly.
it's gonna have of course, the type of shower attachment that's like the rainfall that has the water fall down on you. And also gonna have the side jets that has the water that sprays at you from the sides. It's going to have a built-in speaker system for me to be able to put my iPhones, you know, my iPad, all that, so I can play some music while I'm in there. You know, be up there jamming while I'm in the shower. Yeah.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
That's ugly.
So, after now, that's gonna be the house is gonna be like one of the colonial style houses. I don't want to get too much into telling you how the house is gonna actually look. Just know it's gonna look rich, because I said I'm gonna be rich, but it's not gonna be one of them really expensive houses. I'm just gonna have a house that I'm gonna be able to go ahead and grow old in and die. You know, there you go.
And Gigi told me I'm going to be rich too.
Yep, you're gonna be rich. That's right. So, ain't like that too much. By that time, for 5 years, I plan on at least having, you know, 3 more kids by that. Because by that time, you know, we would have worked on, well, actually not 3 more. I would have been planning to have 1 more by then. I would have had 3 in total by that time. So, of course, you know, we're going to have the girls. Girls. With an S. And then, of course, that next child is going to be born is going to be my junior. Of course, you know. Gotta have me a junior. All right, anyway. So, little Darius Jr. All right, anyway.
Don't do that.
Right.
No, 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 no.
Yes, yes, yes.
No, no, no.
Yeah, I'm doing it. Anyway,
No, you don't. No, you don't.
that's just if this next one ain't a boy. If this next one's a boy, he gonna be my junior, and then we'll work on the girls. But either way, the plan is still gonna be, you know,
No, don't get you
If it's a
junior.
boy, it's a junior.
Don't
It's the
get
girls. You had the girls.
No.
All right. Anyway,
No.
so of course, most of my kids would have been older by then. They would have been living rich, successful lives. Um, as far as my career, I would already have together 2 daycare centers open by that time. Already working on, you know, opening up my animal sanctuary in Pittsburgh, so that way I could have a nice little reserve for the animals to come to. I will still be going to school for my veterinary tech degree, or which again I say or I'm working on my zoology degree. Now, if I can do zoology, which I gotta look that up. If I can do zoology, I get the love of veterinary care at the same time as being able to go out to all the different reserves and visit the animals and stuff like that. You finally falling asleep. Now stop. Be quiet. Your brother's falling asleep. Anyway, so after I have established myself well enough, because I truly do believe I can in the next 5 years. Like I said, my businesses, I'll have the 2 daycare centers opened up, the animal reserve I'll be opening up, and I'll be still going to school for my zoology degree. So, as far as my health goes, I will be completely and utterly healthy. I do see myself at that time weighing about no less than 175 pounds to about that. That's it, just 175 pounds. I'm not going to be going any higher than that. 175 pounds. And if having to, I'm want to turn this massively wonderful body into a more work of art than it already is. So, so I plan on being really fit by then. Um, yeah, pretty much that's it. That's my future. I also see myself, having, a good relationship with my God that I serve, you know, helping out my church, helping out my family, and there you go. Having a good relationship with my kids. That's my future. Okay. Now, Bria, your answer.
Okay. So, 5 years from now, I am working on getting my degree in phlebotomy
Okay.
and making my own schedule to say when I'm going to be working. I'll be in my own house, of course, with, like you said, the big backyard, big house.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yes,
I
Lord.
want a piece of land where I can probably build my own house.
Of course. I mean, that's why I said it's gonna be a big house. I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go find this. Nah, I'm building this from the ground up.
Yeah.
Ain't gonna be no fixer upper. It's just gonna be a big plot of land. Go and build me a house. Give me a couple of Mexicans and go get them to build me a nice house.
Okay. Of course, I'm gonna be still married by then.
I hope so. I mean, I ain't say I was gonna be divorced. I mean,
No.
unless you seeing things otherwise. I hope not.
No.
I might be heading for trouble in paradise,
I'm
y'all.
just including it. That's all.
Y'all heard it.
I'm not.
I might be heading for trouble in paradise.
I'm not gonna get married.
Mm.
I'm not gonna.
You think you not? Anyway, go ahead.
Anyway, of course, I'll probably be moving out of state, of course.
Well, if I'm living in Pittsburgh, you'll be living with me, correct?
Yeah.
So we'll be out of state.
Right.
We'll be in Pittsburgh.
Right. And what else?
Pretty much everything I said.
Yeah, pretty much everything you said. Because if we're gonna still be married by then,
Yeah,
we're gonna be doing everything together.
right, right,
We're gonna be working as a team.
right. So, Chris, what about you? What do you see in your future? What do you say is the ideal future for you?
Well,
Well, then I'm going to tell you what I see for you. I see you being rich, okay? Of course.
well, I see me being rich,
Right.
and I see me feeling bold
Mm-hmm.
and being good for myself
Mm-hmm.
and good for mommy
Mm-hmm.
and good for you
Mm-hmm.
and good for Noah.
Mm-hmm. You gonna be playing football?
Yep. Cause I got my football at Gigi.
Yeah, that don't have nothing to do with you playing football, but yeah. Anyway, I see Chris having, again, a bountiful supply of finances, which is resources.
Yep.
The boy said he gonna be good to his mama, good to his daddy, good to his brother, his whole family. Okay. He already said and spoke into existence he's gonna be bold. That's right. So that means that he's gonna face every situation in his life with the mindset that he is greater than his situations. I like that. That's coming out of a 4-year-old's mouth. But that's how I raised him. Anyway.
I think I gotta go. I gotta go poo.
You mean to the bathroom?
No, I gotta go poo.
Bathroom.
Yeah, I gotta go to the bathroom.
There you go. Go ahead.
Yeah, because I gotta go.
Yeah, go to the bathroom. Just go. That's all you guys say. That's all you have to say. It's just you have to go to the bathroom.
I gotta go poop. I gotta go poop. I gotta go poop. I gotta go poop.
Go to the bathroom, boy.
I gotta go poop.
Anyway. Anywho, because now I'm not going to be able to put this one up. Anyway, so the reason I ask this question is because it's always good to be mindful of your future. Your future can be tomorrow, 2 days from now. Now, let me say this. Let me add to my future. In about 3 months, I plan on moving. 4, technically. In 4 months, I plan on moving. I plan on living in my own apartment, having a place of my own. Okay? Doing my thing. Living separate from my in-laws and my parents. I don't live with my parents, but, I live in the same vicinity as them. Nothing wrong with living in the same vicinity as them. It's just I want to be able to have that separation, to be able to do my life and the things I want to do in my life. Anywho, with that said, and that being the thing that I plan on doing, the point I'm trying to make is when you think of your future, you say it with enthusiasm. Set it with the mindset that you are truly going to be great in all things that you do. Don't settle for less. Don't settle for the second best. You want to say it with confirmation that this is what you're going to do with your life. The future is always bright for everybody. And I don't know anybody who chooses to live their lives where their future is not going to be good. Now, nowhere did you hear me say in my future that I was going to be old, miserly, stingy, vengeful, vindictive, manipulating, cold, calculating. Nowhere did I say in my future I was going to have the mindset of saying I'm better than everybody. Seeing myself up above the clouds as if I'm God. I didn't say any of that. When I do hit that part of my life where I am going to be up in age, I'm hoping to be living in the one place that I promised my wife I've always wanted us to live at. And where is that, baby? Where I want to rest at.
Oh, Lord.
Say it. Where I want to rest at.
You did say Green Bay.
There you go. Green Bay, Wisconsin. Yep. I want to be resting in Wisconsin. That's where I want to finally live the rest of my life out at. Going to the Green Bay Packers games. Experience a winter like no winter you have ever experienced in your life. You want to talk about snow up to your neck. How about that's just an average day for me. I want to experience that. I want to experience that. I want to experience being the cheesehead. Go, Pack, go. Daggone right. I want to wear the green and yellow, green and yellow, green and yellow. Daggone right. As I'm cheering on Aaron Rodgers. Want to be able to sit in that iconic Lambeau Field. I want to be able to go visit it with ease because my son gonna be playing football, so he become professional. He gonna take us in there, show his little pass. Yeah, it's me. It's Chris. Oh, you bringing your family in? Yeah, man. Yeah. Coaching there? That's what I want to hear. Coaching there. Because my son gonna be on the team. Because he gonna be on the team. I want that for my life. And I speak that over my life. See, the thing is, all those things I said are things that are achievable. They're all things that are possible. See, some people live beyond their means. If I were to ask somebody like my brother, he would say, 10 years from now, he'll probably still
True.
be living at my mama's house.
That
Living at my mama's house. Still doing nothing. He ain't going nowhere. She not gonna let him go nowhere. Whatever. I speak volume to understanding that you can travel in whatever direction your life wants to go in. No one should ever, ever, ever settle for being less than great. I will never settle for that. I have an matter of fact, not over, but I have an achiever's mentality. An achiever's mentality. I may have my issues going on with me because nobody in this world is perfect. But I never let that stop me from being great. I never let that stop me from achieving the things I have to achieve. There's some obstacles that are going to come your way. And there's some things that are going to challenge you. And there's going to be some situations where you're going to feel like breaking. But you have to tell yourself that you are not going to break. You are not going to fail. You are not going to sit here and be less than great. You have to tell yourself you're going to do the things you meant to do. You have to tell yourself that. Some people tend to try to live above their means. And I want to explore that for a little bit. Babe, what do you think I mean by living above your means?
well, It pretty much means, in my opinion, when you set goals and stuff like that, try to work at, you know, achieving your goals, but at the same time, go beyond that and do something even better.
I agree.
That's what I think it means.
That's what you want to do. But what it means setting standards that are impossible to ever reach.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be so great. I'll be able to lift the world on my shoulders. I don't want to be Atlas and carry all of that burden on my back. No, no, no. You have to think on those things that are possible. I'm going to soar as high as the sky and sprout wings and fly like a bird. You can in an airplane. So then why not speak those words as they should be? An ancient Chinese proverb says, call things by the name that they are. Call things by the name that they are. So if you say you want to be a person that can fly, then you want to be a pilot. Because I don't think that human beings going to be flying.
Hmm.
At least I hope not. You have to think on what you can do. Now, one thing you have to always be mindful of is your limitations. Now, I know a lot of people always say, never say you have limitations. Okay, so listen to that dummy and tell that dummy, okay, jump off the roof of the building and let's see if you'll float to the ground. I bet you that dummy will fall so quickly to the goddamn ground they'll fall like a ton of bricks. And the reason I call that person a dummy is because it's nothing wrong with understanding your limitations and knowing that you do have limitations. It's just about setting that mindset of not allowing your limitations to be better than you. Be mindful of your limitations and know the things that you are not capable of doing, but that doesn't mean that you sit there and let those limitations defeat you. I cannot fly. I jump out this window, I'm going to fall to my death and I'm going to die. I know that. I know my limitations are I can't fly. So since I know I cannot fly, am I going to do something that's stupid and impossible as to try to make myself fly?
Heck no.
No, because I know I can't do that. First of all, I'm a heavy set person. I cannot and will not be able to fly the right way. My center of gravity is a little bit off. And then I have problems with my equilibrium. So I'm off balance a lot of times when I do things. So I'm not going to go right ahead and try to do something I know is impossible for me to do. A lot of times people always say, never say things are impossible. Always try to achieve the impossible. Okay, so I'm going to do like off of Dragon Ball Z and instant transmit myself right now to my job to go say hello to my boss and then instant transmit myself back here. No, 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 no. Not using teleportation devices. No, none of that. No, using the same technique from an anime. That's not possible. Animes are drawing cartoons. Okay, that's what they are. They're drawing cartoons. You cannot do the things that happen in cartoons. Since you can't do that, that's impossible. So how are you going to tell somebody that they can do the impossible? Now, mind you, I am not saying that you should not have the mentality of believing that you can achieve the impossible. Have that mentality. But don't sit there and fool yourself and lie to yourself and be an idiot and tell yourself you can do things that are completely and utterly phony. Nobody should be saying, I'm going to be walking around and running and talking like Speed Racer. No, you can't do that. You can't run and talk like Speed Racer. It's a cartoon. You have to think within the realms of reality. Do the things that you are meant to do. There's some people today working jobs they're not meant to work. I'm not going to lie to you. I want to be in the field of science.
I love science.
I want to be in the field of science. I want to be a child psychologist. I have a job currently that I'm using to help support my family. I don't like it. I don't want to work it, but I'm willing to do it. I love being a teacher, yes, but not in a daycare center. I want to be teaching in the actual field of education, in the actual school setting, like the actual schools. I want to be able to have that entire summer break off instead of having to worry about working. I had to make sure I wasn't hearing voices again. Anyway, just had to stop for a minute. Started hearing voices. It's not good. Anyway, um, to be able to set yourself up for having a good future, you need to think on the ability to achieve those things. You need to set yourself up the right way. As I said, I want to be in the field of science, but I'm willing to take a job that's going to help keep my family afloat and take care of my family. I'm willing to do that. But I also want to be able to eventually work the job that I find perfect for me. This place is allowing me to go back to school and to pay for my education for me to go back. This all of the benefits with this job is perfect, and I'm willing to take it. I'm willing to take it and do the impossible. But I'm not going to sell myself short and only focus on that as being my landing place and become stagnant and still weighted and only work that job and then that's it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start to think to myself, I do still have that ability to be able to do that and work that job I want to work. Go to school, receive my degree in early childhood education, go back to school and start doing child psychology by transferring over to a 4-year university. After I go to a 4-year university, I'll go right ahead, do child psychology, major in that, get my associate's degree and my bachelor's degree in child psychology. And after I do child psychology, go right ahead, open up my own practice in psychology, focusing on children. While I'm achieving all those things, there are things I can be doing on the side to be able to continue to make that work. No one said I had to continue to work there. Okay? Once I have my degree, I can actually begin to work in the actual school system. For example, I could be working in the actual schools. Instead of working a freaking 10-hour shift every day, busting my hind parts, working the freaking 6, 7 o'clock at night, I can go right ahead and be working until 2, 3 o'clock. I could be getting out of school as early as 2. So I could be sitting there working instead of making, a meaningless $10, $12 an hour. I could be sitting there and I could be making a salary and making an hourly pay. I could be getting anywhere between, you know, 80 to $90,000 a year instead of sitting there and just getting a meaningless little paycheck. I can sit there and have my yearly payment at the end of the year. I got 90,000 to my name. Walk away with a smile on my face, grinning, cheesing hard. You know, Because I got $90,000 to my name. That'll make me happy. All I got to do is clock in to work. Ching, clock in to work. All right, y'all. Let's get started with our education today. Do my education with them, have fun with the kids. Next thing you know, all right, move on to the next class. Next class come in. All right, y'all, let's go. Let's do this. And move on to the next class. And after that, at the end of the day, bam, 2 o'clock pop up. I clock out. All right, see you later, Darius. All right, man, I'm going to grade these papers. Go home, grade my papers, and do what I need to do. Y'all boy has a game plan. There is greatness within you, and you can only achieve that greatness when you set your mind on being great. If you settle for less and tell yourself that you only deserve the runt of the litter, then something is wrong with you. Something is wrong with you. I want to be an overachiever. I want to overachieve. Yep, I want to overachieve. In other words, I want to have so much that honestly, you're probably wondering why I even have it. I want to be that person. Oh, God dang, Darius. You got so much greatness. What you need all that for? I want to share it. I want to share it. I call myself an African king because my ancestors were kings and queens, not just in Egypt, but all over the world. From Africa to Brazil, Jamaica. I have greatness in me because I see myself as being great.
You done?
No.
Need help?
You know, as much as I like to talk about being great, the one thing you don't want to get caught up in is being boastful about how great you are. Do not get caught up in the mentality that comes with having all that. I've watched the world, as I used to call it, the media, the world, completely and utterly destroy itself, namely because they'll tell people, you can boast about all the things you have, you can boast about all the good things you have in your life, and just completely and utterly be so proud of the things you have that you don't even think the people around you who helped you get you there. That you start coming up with the mentality in your mind that you did it yourself. Oh my Lord, man, I hate it when people do that. I really do. I hate it when people do that. I hate it when people become so prideful that they don't even remember that it was not just them that got them there. At the end of the day, if you have any family members in your life, you are still here today because those people watched out for you. They might not have been indirectly doing it, meaning right directly in your face. Well, directly doing it. But they were indirectly doing it, which means they were around you to make sure that no harm came to you. You survived and are here today because of those people around you. So you wouldn't even be able to even be great and have the greatness you deserve if it wasn't for them. Some of us become so prideful celebrities, they boast. Rock stars, they boast. Politicians, they boast. All these people have great things in their lives. And people have gotten them there, but they never give those people credit. Not one time will you ever hear me sit here and say out of my mouth that I do not thank the Lord that I serve for getting me where I am. Because if it was not for his grace and his mercy, I would not be here today, people. There's a lot I've gone through in my life that I can say should have counted me out and should have kept me from being here. But I am here today because of his grace and mercy. He put the right people around me. And every day he removes the wrong, he removes the people who should not be in my life. It's funny to me how a lot of those people who count me out, who say bad things about me, who say bad things about my family, who talk about what we're doing with our lives. A lot of those people, no matter how much they talk, they always seem to get shut up in the end. And then next thing you know, poof, like a cloud of smoke, they gone. Like a cloud of smoke. I want to be that person, and I'm going to be that great person. Your greatness, once you do achieve it, it should reflect off of you, and you be able to share that greatness with other people. For example, I love the fact that some of the football players do actually get involved with charity. Even though, in my personal opinion, a lot of them do it as a goddamn way to do it as a tax write-off. But hey, whatever way they get money, I don't care. I mean, they got a lot of it. But if that helps them get money to provide for their families, more power to them. But for me, I choose to already exhibit that greatness through the things that I do and the people's lives that I touch. I want everything that I do a reflection of wholesome goodness, of love, of peace, of somebody that actually cares. When I was young, I used to help out at soup kitchens. I used to do the B. Gaddy Foundation. I brought it up to my church's attention one time in the class I was in, just a young kid, every bit of 7, 8 years old. And I told the person, our teacher then at the time, and I told her, I said, or it was a him, I said, hey, why don't we all do a soup kitchen one day for the church? She ran it by the church pastor, and pastor said, who gave you this idea? I was very close with pastor back then. Yep, I did. I was very close with my pastor back then. And he said, come in. He said, you came up with this idea to want to do a soup kitchen so we can help out the homeless? And I said, yeah. He said, you have a bright future if you keep thinking that way. You have a bright future. God's going to see you through many of your problems. And he's going to do a great things in your life if you keep thinking like that. A month from then, the church did a soup kitchen. This was in the old building, not the new one. We did a soup kitchen where we lined up the main sanctuary with tables of food for the homeless to come in, sat down tables for them to sit down and eat. And those that were homeless were able to come in, get in contact with some people to help them find jobs. We gave away clothes, food for them to take home. Well, they didn't have a home, so to the homeless shelter. But we gave them clean clothes to put on, put them in contact for jobs, stuff like that. And some of those same homeless people gave their lives to God. And probably to this day are doing far better than they started out. Because of a little tiny kid who opened his mouth and said, let's do a soup kitchen. And it's amazing that I was able to do that. Now, again, like I said, I don't boast about it and make myself give myself a big head like, you know, I'm the piss, the shit, and the urine. I don't do that.
Ew.
You know, I'm not like Kanye West. I'm not like Little Weezy. I'm not like Jay-Z. I'm not like Snoop Dogg. I don't have to be flashy to be great. No one said you have to be that. Be yourself. Be happy. Yes, you can enjoy the things you have, but then there's a such thing as being boastful with enjoyment. Taking all that stuff that you have and knowing that you worked hard to get there and throwing it in other people's face and being prideful about it as to calling them losers, but you're better than them. No, you ain't no better than me, bro.
Daddy, mommy is playing the game. And mommy's not paying attention.
Yes, she is.
Then why mommy playing the game?
I'm almost done anyway. So remember, put your mind on the things that you know you can do and achieve those things you know you can achieve. Focus on those things, achieve those things, and do great things. Because as long as you keep telling yourself, I am great, I am great, I am great, I am great, I am great. No, I'm not saying to always speak positive affirmations. That does not work. No one says stand up in front of the mirror. Yeah, you are going to do many great things. No, you don't have to get up in the mirror. Put it in your heart and put it in your mind. If you put it in your heart and your mind, you'll never forget it. You'll never forget it. When they tell you to say it in front of the mirror, they're telling you to say it in front of the mirror because as soon as you go to bed that night, you're going to forget that you even said it. I'm a loser. Golly, well, haven't you been... Right, right, Noah. Haven't you been telling yourself that you was great? Put it in your heart and put it in your mind and you'll be that great person. We can do great things. We just have to focus our attention on doing those great things.
If you're happy, you know you're on.
Because if we don't do great things, how will our family survive? Now I know there's a lot of people who say, "Well, I can't be an athlete, you know." I can't be an athlete. I'm not athletic. Okay, no one said you had to be an athlete. There are some pretty great people who are doing great things even though they're not athletes. We need people to work in the information and technology field. We need people to do cybersecurity. We need people to be able to work on computers and do that. I mean, if we're going to ever advance into the futuristic age of being able to keep people safe in this world without worrying about somebody dying left and right, we need great people to do great things. So be great. Be great. I want to hear you say it, Chris. Say, I am great.
I am great.
Say it again. Say, I am great.
I am great.
One more time. Say, I am great.
I am great.
I want you to say it, babe.
I am great.
Say it one more time.
I am great.
That's right.
Right.
We have to constantly tell ourselves that. Your future does not start 5 years from now, 3 years from now, 2 years from now. Your future starts now. As I said in my previous recordings, your future can be at any point in time. As a nanosecond, as a millisecond, nanosecond, and a second continues to pass, as those parts of time continue to pass, your future has already been drawn and it's already starting. You're living your future already. Live your future in the present. Be your future. Be great.
Yeah, be great.
And do great things.
And do great things.
That's all to it.
And I am great.
That's right.
I am great. Mommy?
I am great.
That's right.
Great.